Dolls. I remember how much I loved playing with dolls when I was a little child. When all the girls were coming together, playing with them, creating families, giving them names, dressing them up, even sewing their own dresses. Some horror movies and myths created such a scary atmosphere around dolls. But what if I tell you that reality is even more horrific? In today's video you will find out about the real meaning of dolls, why some people have a fear of dolls called pediophobia, where that fear is coming from and why. Stay tuned until the very end, because later we'll do a spine-chilling experiment you don't want to miss out. So make sure you've got enough of courage and popcorn to watch it until the very end. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also show some love and support by hitting the like button under this video, because it will help me to grow and to create even more interesting videos for you. Let's move to the creepy topic right now. Humanity is familiar with dolls since the ancient times. Scientists found 40,000 years old look-alike dolls on the territory of Eurasia. Can you imagine that the oldest ivory doll was found in Czech Republic and she or he is 35,000 years old? But they were never meant for games, rather for sacral rituals or occult ones. People were using dolls as talismans, creating them out of the material to put in baby's bed to protect a young soul from any evil or devil spirit. These dolls had to be faceless though, as people believe that this type of dolls have no soul and none of souls can possess it. Wooden dolls were considered to be a vessel for a dead family member's soul. You had to feed it and take care of it, and then it would help living ones to complete all their daily work. What scares me even more, that currently our market is full of variety of dolls, but ancient ones believed that once a doll gets the face, it becomes alive and going to live its own hidden life from a human being. How creepy is that? The first doll you could play with was born in France in 1850, a little girl named Bébé, and made of porcelain. It had big eyes and little fat legs. You could take care of it as of a newborn baby. Women who had no children forced the production of small talking mechanisms that factories started to put inside of these dolls so they could finally talk to their owners. Later, dolls started to be able to close their eyes and even smile. Pandora is the other name of a few centuries old French doll, created for fashion purposes. Does her name tell you anything? Did you know that in ancient Greece she was the first woman like our Eve who opened up the jar containing sickness, death and many other unspecified evils, which were then released into the world? Another famous doll we all know about and buy for our children is the little doll called Barbie, created by Ruth Handler in 1959, named after her daughter Barbara. But did you know that the idea of creating such a doll was inspired by German erotic comics? This is something like a cherry on top. Barbie is the prototype of an ancient faceless doll because it has no individuality, rather an image of so-called perfectionism and beauty, which provoked many problems in the future, forcing women and even men to use plastic surgery and change their natural appearance, which resembles to Barbie, to get up to non-existent high standards of beauty. You know, I'm not afraid of dolls, but studying the real story of what we see behind modern creatures brought me some real shivers. Do you believe now that the reality can be even more scary?
God damn it, I have to throw out my mother's collection urgently.
But we can joke and laugh as much as we can, but in fact ritual dolls have never disappeared anywhere. They have changed their appearance but never the real meaning. Even if we think some dolls are just dolls, but if we look deeper, nothing is as it seems to be. As we look deeper into the history of dolls and stories behind some particular ones, a doll symbolizes death. And we are all afraid of it. A doll reminds us of human, but is not a human. It can't be tested for human feelings, so reminds us of a dead body we can manipulate with. All the horror movies created around the topic voodoo and other occult groups using them in their rituals. Entertainment industry creating scary attractions were all inspired by not so good and kind side of the story. After all, who would love to step into the dark room and see a doll moving her head with the creepy music on the background? Not me. So, should I add anything else to tell you why there's a fear of dolls called pediophobia? I don't think so. I think it's really clear for you now why maybe you or someone else has that fear. So guys, I'm finally very happy and very excited to stand in front of the oldest toy museum in the UK, which is Pollock's Toy Museum. This museum is full of different kind of toys from the past, as well as dolls, doll houses, teddy bears, plays and toy theaters. Museum history begins with the first part of the 19th century with Mr. J.K. Green, who created and sold toy theaters and plays to children who wanted to perform in front of their families and friends at home. In 1860, when Mr. Green died, his printing plates were inherited by Mr. Reddington, whose business was very successful in selling and trading. When later his daughter Eliza married Benjamin Pollock, they ran trading for another successful 60 years. Not going too deep into details, it is fair to mention that World War II and other different circumstances, as well as increasing payments, made this business stop, until in 1955, a lady, a gorgeous lady called Margaret Foddy, decided to buy the whole stock and founded toy shop as well as the museum in Covent Garden of London. To the current location, the museum moved in 1969 when Margaret Foddy decided to buy the whole Georgian building to give a home to her museum forever. Supported by her husband Kenneth, as well as many happy customers and patrons, this museum became a happy place to be, and right now I'm up to open up the doors of this museum for you and to show you what is there inside. Welcome to the Pollock's Toy Museum, and I'm currently in this gorgeous dolls room, and as you can see, it has plenty of dolls inside. Here you can see the famous French doll, the Bergamo. They were first dolls created for playing. There is though a scary part of the history of these dolls, because as we are used to, mostly children play with dolls, but these ones were created for lonely mothers who couldn't give birth to their own children, so they could get this doll and make it their own baby. These women went crazy about these dolls, so all the new clothing, all the designs, everything was there on the market. So they spent tons of money buying new clothes and new accessories for these dolls. Have you heard something about the pediophobia, which is the fear of dolls? Because I also heard somewhere that there are sometimes visitors afraid to pass this room by and they're avoiding it.
Yes. It seems to be a much more recent thing, I have to say.
Because of movies and stuff.
Because of movies and stuff, yes. Because of the dolls that wake up in the night and murder people, yes. It's that sort of thing. There have always been people who don't like human images because they are quite potent things. And if you look at them, they are telling you something about the look of the age. So the ideal look of the age. So here we've got, this is a doll of about 1900, and she's actually full size, child size, and wears children's clothes. But she's got sort of very large eyes and very detailed features and quite realistic. The thing that people find about dolls, if they don't like them, is that they are images of ourselves, and that can be a bit disturbing. Perhaps also because they're in quantity in here. We do have quite a crowd in the nursery.
Yeah, it's
well, we are going to thin the crowd out a bit. But children don't have the same feeling about those
they're
things.
thinking about playing with them.
Well, they put a personality on them. So, they can put a personality on a wooden spoon with no face, because that's what children do. And however ugly we might as adults find the toy, a child sees it slightly differently.
Are you afraid of dolls?
Some.
Some?
Yeah.
Why? What provokes this fear in you? What you don't like about dolls?
Because sometimes, because it looks like they're just staring at you and they never look away.
I don't think they've ever scared me, but I can see how some are more creepy to people. But if they're all in the room and you're the only person, that can seem a bit... I think it is their eyes. If their eyes are really realistic, but the rest of the face isn't, it makes it look a bit strange.
What inspired you to come here?
So, I was born in the 90s, so my kind of experience of toys were kind of limited to the late kind of eras, so my generation moved to technology quite quickly. So it's quite interesting to come and see all the old toys of the old previous generations and the history.
Do you think these toys have soul?
No.
They don't have souls.
They don't have souls, no. I think a computer is more alive than the dolls that you see.
I think one of the most important things about the museum is that it's like little time capsules of society. So how dolls look, what toys were made, they might be horse-drawn or they might be tin cars, tells you exactly what was going on at the time. And it's a really accessible way of looking at history.
You can see everything, like even materials they were made from.
Yes, the materials that were used, the styling of the things, what they were, and how they were used as well. So, you know, depending on your social income, your social status, you would have had different sorts of toys. So, I mean, very often I think in schools it's taught that, you know, there were poor children and there were rich children.
Yes.
Nothing in between. But actually there was a lot in between. Who had gradations of income. So the people who lived here were not the very bottom of the heap. They had regular money, but not very much. So the man who lived here with his children, he was never able to move anywhere bigger, but he was able to keep all his children at school until they were 14, which was really unusual, including the boys. I mean, including the girls, which, you know, they usually had to leave early, but they didn't. They all stayed at school till they were 14.
Put your thumbs up if you liked this video, and I promise it will only get darker from now on. Your hunches. Hello, my dear dark creatures, and welcome to this crazy scary experiment I have promised you to create in the beginning of my video. I'm not sure what's gonna happen tonight, but it's already 2 minutes to midnight, as you can see it here, right there. Yeah, hope you can see it. So in a couple of minutes I will start my experiment, and it will last for a few hours. Of course, I will not put all the material online in this video, but maybe I will put it on YouTube separately so you can see all these hours of my experiment working. And maybe you will notice any paranormal activity or something weird which hooked your eye. Then please put down in the comments what did you notice at the timing so I can check it together with you. Phew! Alright. So to be honest with you, I'm a bit nervous because I never did anything like that before, or maybe when I was a really little child, together with my friends, we were just playing fools around. So I have this pretty little tool with me, which is the voice recorder, and let's switch it on and try to record something. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ring around the rosy. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, ring around the rosy. Alright, now it's ready to use, and I will leave it just in front of the dolls so it will notice any little sound. I hope I will have enough of time and courage myself to watch it later and to analyze whatever happens there. So you can see it. So I'm leaving it in the middle of dolls, like there. In front of actually the most mysterious dolls I've got here. I will switch off the light now and we will start the experiment. So see you soon. So guys, I'm not sure if this is something paranormal or not, but when I came back here now, my camera stopped recording. I'm not sure that I will be able to recover this file later because it happened to me also before. I just hope it's not something what we can imagine to ourselves. Luckily, the voice recording is safe on my voice recorder. Fingers crossed, because I'm not sure what to expect. Let's go on with filming. Hello, do you want to talk to me? Is there anyone who wants to speak to me? Say something. Once there was a story that dolls are afraid of fire, so maybe let's check this. There's a fire. There's a fire. Fire. So let's create the last experiment. I have this little black feather with me, so it will notice any activity or any movement. I will place it on the knees of one of these dolls and switch off the light for the last part of our experiment, so they are completely in darkness. Now it's even more creepy. Boo! Hope you enjoyed this experiment and we will check the results together. So guys, believe it or not, but this is a lucky giveaway I'm organizing for those patient ones who watched my video until the very end. So this is kind of little surprise for you. If you want to be the lucky owner of this gorgeous porcelain doll. All you need to do is to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as to my Instagram page. On the Instagram, you will find a picture of me and this doll. In the comment section, put the word giveaway. I will choose the person randomly. After 10 days, this picture was published. So, good luck!